possible client is telling me that her rent is going to go from 2,600 to 2,900, and she's renting about 1,300 square feet. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. She says it's just not worth $3,000 a month. She had looked at some townhomes that were between 475 and 500. Could I give her an idea of what the down payment would be and the monthly payment? And I asked her how much money she had to put towards a purchase. She had a little bit of money, but she said she really wanted to put down as little as possible. So I was explaining that on an FHA loan, she could do as little as 3.5% down, and the monthly payment would be about $4,000, a little more, a little less, depending on her credit and taxes and condo fees and that kind of stuff. She was like, wow, going from 2,600 to 4,000 is a lot, but if she does nothing, she has to go to 2,900. So she then started asking me about the actual cash she would need to do the transaction, and I was explaining that the 3.5% on 500,000 is 17,500. That's the down payment part, but the closing costs would run probably about $20,000 plus or minus, once again depending on score and credit. So all in, she would need about $38,000. And she was a little surprised by that. Then I did explain to her that if you could get the seller to give you some closing cost help, so sometimes you can get a seller maybe give you 3% closing cost help. So that's 3% of 500,000. So that would be 15,000. So you would take the 37 minus the 15, and then you would need $22,000 to get into the property. And she was like, okay, she had that, wasn't in love with it. She said, what happens if the seller doesn't give me any closing cost help? I said, well, another option is a down payment assistance program. So it's not a grant, it's a loan. You could actually get 5% of the purchase price. You could get $25,000 as a down payment assistance loan. It's at 0% interest, and you don't make any payments on the loan, but you have to pay it back when you sell or refinance the house. So you could literally take the 37,000 minus 5% of 500, which is 25,000, and get into the house for $12,000. And if in theory you could get the seller to give you that $12,000, you could get into the house for nothing. But the chances that you would get the seller to pay the $12,000 plus get the program and put it all together and get into the house for nothing, it happens, but it doesn't happen that often. She's like, okay, well, those are all options I can deal with. And she said, I just have to get my head around going from 2,600 to 4,000, which is a big jump. We'll see what she does.